My mom taught me to cook when I was young, and I've enjoyed it all my life. And she was some kind of good cook. And I'm going to share this chicken and dumplings recipe with you guys.
Now, who's responsible for this unwarranted attack on my person?
Well, this is the pot that I boiled the chicken in yesterday. I took the chicken out, cut it up, pulled all the meat off the bones, and put this in the refrigerator. And as you can see now, I'm scraping this. The fat rises to the top, the grease from the chicken, and I'm scraping that all off and putting it over here, and I'll throw that away. Okay, now there's our broth that is warming it up above it, warm to put into the flour and mix in the dough. And here's the rest of our ingredients. We got our chicken, which I'll have to cut up later, but a little smaller to put in there. A tablespoon of, or 4 tablespoons of butter. You can use a lard like a Crisco or something like that. I prefer the butter. A tablespoon of baking powder. 2 cups of not self-rising, 2 cups of regular flour, all-purpose flour, and a bowl to mix it in. Now I'm gonna mix her up. Okay, this is no big secret, mixing this stuff up. I'm sure most of you've done it many times. I mix it with a knife so my fingers don't get all messed up in it right now. I guess I'll have to use my fingers to a little extent to get the butter kind of mixed in there with the flour. I guess probably if I ran it through a sifter, it'd probably even be better, but don't have that, so say just a little bit of this. It won't take much. I'm going to use a knife, get it started.
Oh Lord, he's filming himself again.
Yeah, he's filming himself again. There goes Kathy. She didn't know she was living with a movie mogul. Okay. You know, you can just add, I'll give you the recipe, the ingredients and how much you use of each one, but you can make as much of this as you want. Just the 2 of us. We don't use a whole lot of it. Alright, I'm going to turn it off and finish mixing this up. Okay, there it is all mixed up. I usually let it kind of sit there and rest for about 20 minutes before I start to roll it out. And that'll be the next step. Okay, now I got the old rolling pin out. Cut the dough in half. I got 2 equal portions. I got to roll it out. I have to hide this from Kathy because I think she'd use it as a weapon against me. So I keep this locked away so she can't get to it. Alright, let's see if I can roll this stuff out now. Do it. Kind of hard with only having a half a left arm and hand. I want to get it just as thin as I can. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, I'm sure you've all rolled out dough and sliced it before and whatever, but here's my secret weapon. Most folks will use a knife, and when you use a knife, it kind of pulls the dough, and you got to hold on to it, and this, that, and the other. Pizza cutter. Just put it on there and roll that sucker. See how easy that is? So much easier and quicker than a knife. Cutting these about an inch, inch and a quarter wide. And then I'm going to put them about that. Oh, what's that? 3 inches or so, maybe 4 inches, something like that. Okay. Now I'll just set those aside and roll out the other piece, and then I'll be ready to put them in the pot. Ain't this fun? Okay, there they are, all sliced up and floured up and set on a plate. I've got the liquid heating up here. This is from where I cooked the chicken, and it's just starting a very slow roll of the boil here, and that's when I want to start adding the dumplings, and I'm going to do that right now. When they get almost done, they'll start floating to the top. Well, or sooner. You're going to cook these probably about 20 minutes. Best to cover them and leave the cover on while they're cooking. Some folks like to add a little chopped celery into their chicken and dumplings, and I don't generally do that. Sometimes I'll put little celery seasoning in the water when I'm cooking the chicken. Now, this a lot of people like the dumpling mix, or the dumpling to be the liquid to be very thick. Like if you ever go to what am I thinking? Cracker Barrel. You get chicken and dumplings at Cracker Barrel, they're in a very, very thick mixture of basically what we made the dumplings out of. But if you like that, I'll give you the recipe on how to do that. I don't prefer to have mine thick like that. Or if you want the easy way out, you can just take a can of Campbell's cream of chicken soup and add to the mixture before as you're cooking it, and that'll thicken it up too. But I prefer just to have them just like they come out of the pot with nothing else added to them. Like Cracker Barrel, they'll use about another 4 tablespoons of butter, milk, whole milk, cup of whole milk, a little bit of the liquid out of this pot, salt, and they'll cook that. And about 3 or 4 tablespoons of flour will make the mixture. I've done it a couple of times, and they cook that and get it thick, and then you just add it to the pot that the dumplings are cooking in, and it really thickens it up. But I prefer not to do that. I'm just gonna fix them just like we're doing right now. And you don't want to stir this once they get to cooking. Just let me get them sunk into the liquid here so they won't stick together. That you don't want. Hopefully I had enough little flour on them so they won't stick together. And you can see they're getting a little thicker now that they're in this heat. Well, another thing, when you cook your chicken, I always do it the day before, and that's all this stuff here on the side of the pot from where I boiled the chicken. You can also add, pick up a package of chicken livers if you like chicken livers, and add that to the the pot as you're cooking the chicken. Some folks love chicken gizzards. You can put that in there. It's all up to you, but this is the way you do it. Now I'm gonna cover this and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Okay, now there's the chicken is all cut up, and like I say, I cook it the day before and leave it in the refrigerator, and it's a heck of a lot easier to cut up. And just like a turkey, when you cook a turkey at Thanksgiving, the cooler it gets, the easier it is to slice. So we're getting ready to dump this into the pot. Now let's go over and take a look at the pot and see what we have in there. I believe it's about ready. Let's take this and just dump it in. We'll stir it up just a little bit. Oh boy, looky there. Okay, we're going to cover it and let it simmer just about 10 more minutes and it'll be done. Oh my, put some south in your mouth. You can see I like a little pepper on mine too.